What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi, and we're talking specifically about everybody's favorite mode of this game currently, 7th Zone. Now, before I jump in here, I want to say specifically, I almost feel like these two are some of the easiest we've ever had. Now, you'll see as of recording this, we've got a little less than half a day left, but I've been working on my teams. I'm not quite there. Now, normal and hard are all done, and you want to make sure that you get normal and hard done no matter what. I know a lot of people are just like, screw it, I'm not doing it. Get normal and hard done, guys. Just because you can't do very hard, normal and hard are pretty flippin' easy. Now, I'm going to show you guys a couple of hints, tips, and things like that that actually might help you beat very hard. Now, the team that I've been using, the Thunder team I've been using to take on the water event, is this right here. This team's getting close. It's wiping out 3.5 of the units. And then by the end of it, I'm still just kind of... I just need a tiny bit more damage. You can probably see in here ways I could get more damage. And I'm farting around with that still. But what I want to show you is my light team. The team that's taking on the dark element. Now, this team here has been doing an absolutely stellar job. They've gotten extremely close, but we've never quite eked it out. So I'm going to go ahead and try right now to see if we can make this happen. Now, the OG Haruhime, she's going to be a huge part of both of these teams, but the new Haruhime is pretty much going to be your main damage producer on this team. Okay? The big thing you want to do here in the beginning, you'll notice that I'm getting off a lot of buffs and debuffs, and that's really, really, really important. Plus, getting lean ace SA gauge increase is going to help you out drastically. Now, this team gets SAs left, right, and center. This team is spamming SAs constantly, and that's very, very good for this team. The other thing to notice there, you saw that they were getting sealed. Do bear in mind that these units do seal and stun, so my recommendation, as with the last set of 7th Zone, is to put seal anklets on them, and then to use a 3-star Misha, who does 100% stun resist. There are other stun resist units, but everybody should have access to the 3-star Misha. Pretty much everyone should have her MLB'd. That makes life so much easier. Now in this tier, we're going to start using Haruhime, the OG Haruhime, for buff replication. Chloe's going to do base attacks. Now, I'm going to go ahead and continue on my debuff plan here, and you'll notice that Toka has a really handy thing here. Light resist minus 30%, and it's a foe's plural attack. There's a couple of units that do light resist to single targets. She does to all targets. So that's going to be super, super handy. Alright. You'll notice that everyone here is stunned, but I have the Misha anti-stun unit is actually tied to Tione. Now, Tione is +4. She's not MLB'd, but she's going to do a very, very, very good job here. Now, with her, I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm going to do her SA gauge 100%. You'll notice a trend here. Everybody else has SA gauge 33%. Actually, the Chloe unit has the Casino Seer attached to her, so she's going to have 100% SA gauge charge on top of that, and then this unit's going to have SA gauge charge. So everybody's got SA gauge charge. We're basically going to spam SAs, like I said earlier. Okay? I'm going to do Sheikah, and at this point, we are just pretty much working our buffs and debuffs. Now, with this one, I'm going to just go ahead down here and do a base attack, because Ki is... Well, actually, I take that back, because I take that back. I'm not going to do that, because I've got the Hestia on her that does... I keep forgetting I recently upgraded that unit. She's good now. I've got the new Hestia that does 60% MP regen, so I keep forgetting we're actually not going to run out of MP with her at all, ever. So that's super handy. There we go. Excellent. Now, in turn 4, I'm going to go ahead and do Haruhime's big buff. I would do that as a triple, but you'll see why here in a minute. Well, actually, no, I take it back. I'm not going to do that yet. I'm gonna gamble it on a double. I'm going to gamble this on a double, so pardon me for a moment. I'm going to take that back. I'm going to go ahead and do her light damage buff. And we're just going to draw this out just a little bit further. Okay. Getting some pretty decent hits in here. 60Ks, 70Ks. Very good hits. Alright. And on the next turn, on turn 6, we'll do a double SA. So let's go ahead and do her main attack here. Alright. Let's go. And you'll notice how wonderful it is. That new Hestia, the, if my screen ever comes back there, the new Haruhime's SA gauge never, ever depletes. I mean, it's just wonderful. She's so broken for this. Alright, so I'm going to do a double attack with the 2 Haruhimes. Now, the main reason I'm going to do that, the one Haruhime increases strength and magic 100%. This Haruhime increases light damage 80%. That is basically going to allow us to create crazy damage. But you'll notice I'm going to go ahead and start doing attacks with Chloe now. But Chloe is still not at her max. And I'll show you why here in just a minute. Alright. So, Haruhime is going to give us that big buff. And then the other Haruhime's going to give us a big buff. Sometimes waiting for these essays to engage is not the most exciting thing ever. Boom. Alright. And almost a mil damage, actually. That's really spectacular. And you'll see they're trying to seal us, but they're not going to be able to because we've got our anklets on. So I'm going to go back and just do a few of the buff replication moves. And we're going to build up our SA gauge for another double SA. Now, after this turn, I need to move on and start damaging someone else. The key to doing this, in my experience, is whittling down these units one at a time. There we go. Great hits. So I'm going to move on to the second unit now. And I'm going to start whittling this one down. So I'm going to go ahead and do Sheikah on this turn. The main thing I want to do is I want to keep everything in play. Now, the HP regen, that won't replicate, but everything else will. And everything else is pretty much good. So, yep, there we go. It is worth noting that Chloe's attack isn't the greatest thing ever, but it is an AoE. It's going to help out a little bit. But Chloe's mostly here for her SA. Her SA is what's going to really, really kick this into overdrive. Alright. And I'll go back to doing Yosuga. There we go. Now you start to see there's some MP problems on this team. And that is, I won't say by design, but it is admittedly one of the major drawbacks to this team, but one of the things that is definitely being handled appropriately. Now, I got to keep Yosuga going this turn because I'm going to do a double SA with Chloe in the front of the new Haruhime. Now, new Haruhime is our big hitter. New Haruhime is a stellar hitter. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do Flash Trick for a couple more turns. I'm going to do Sheikah this turn. And I'm going to try to keep... I'm going to try to do a triple SA. I normally do the double here. But my triple gives me a combo that's an AoE. And I really feel like that's going to be extremely important to the longevity of my team here. Okay. So everything's good on that front. Everything's good on that front. Alright. The main thing you want to do, you want to pay close attention to that first Haruhime, the OG Haruhime, and you want to make sure that A, you're not losing the buffs and all that stuff that you've got in your other units, but B, you also want to make sure that you save enough MP. So like on this turn when I do the double Haruhime, or the triple super attack with Chloe, Chloe's SA is a light resist minus 50%, but it is for one turn. So we're going to have to replicate that a couple times. So you need to make sure you save enough MP that not only this turn you're going to use Yosuga, next turn you are as well. So that is one thing to pay close attention to. Now, I'm aware this is a little bit of a scary, sloppy run, but as you can see, it's effective. Okay? Now, while we're not going to see the best numbers ever, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. We are just simply not going to see amazing numbers. But I will say we're going to see enough that we'll at least, hopefully, if we don't finish it this time, we're going to be extremely close. Man, it didn't do much more damage with a triple than it did with a double. RNG, I swear. Boom, 360. Not the best, but now we get a combo, and I believe the combo is an AoE. So you notice the main thing I did here is I did big buffs and big debuffs with the SA, and I'm utilizing the OG Haruhime to keep those things in play. You need to keep them in play if you're going to beat this, because those are what are going to, over the next 8 turns, whittle them down. Now, some people are going to sit there and try to be all, anal about, oh, I'm not going to beat it with a certain high number, why would I bother? The answer is you don't need to. The reward comes whether or not you beat it in any kind of, fair or sporting manner, I guess, for lack of a better word. So, don't be bashful about just, coming in on the turn 20 with, by the grit of your teeth. It's a thing. Getting the rewards from this are the important part. You want those. So, yeah, don't get too caught up in pride and vanity. Make sure that before all else, you just finish this. Alright, so that light resistance is still down 50%. Everything's good there. We got to kill it. Lego. Alright. Now you've got another SA. And normally what I would have done is I would just be spamming the SA with Haruhime. But I think I'm going to hold out for the double. I don't know if that's stupid. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm looking at the numbers. I think that's stupid. I'm going to go ahead and do her SA here. And because unless she hits for below 500,000, there's really no reason to hold out for the double. It's not going to give you that much more. Tione is decent, but she doesn't... Of course, it's not going to show me how much damage it is. Tione is decent, but she's not that crazy good that she's going to make it worth holding off for the double. Though, I did forget about the AoE damage, so maybe there's something to be said about that. Alright. Apparently, it did not register. Okay. Rock in a hard place, but what can you do? Alright. So, not my cleanest run. I'm going to be real. Normally by now, and I'll emphasize normally by now, at least one, if not two, of those dudes are gone. Now, of course, my HDMI cable has also decided it's gone. Thanks, HDMI. Appreciate that. And I'd like to thank the ongoing worldwide pandemic for closing down the repair shop so that I'm not actually able to get my phone in for the repairs needed. So, good times. All right. So we're going to continue on here. I'm going to do a double essay with them. I'm going to target him. Yeah, we're going to come... this is not going to be my closest run by a long shot. I made some mistakes on this one. Either that or I just had a few RNG failures and didn't get the penetration numbers I needed. I'm going to turn icons off for just a moment so I can see lifespans. Yeah. That bottom guy is not... We are not wearing him down fast enough. Alright. So... Yeah, everything should still be good. Light damage and physical damage, magic damage are all still up there. And that's the important part. So... Plus their 50% debuff. So we should be good in theory. But that's also in theory. Sometimes practice is not as kind. Yeah. Ugh. This pains me. This pains me because I've had way better runs than this. I feel like it was just RNG was just not there this time around. That's okay. Let's do a double essay, see what happens, and well, move on with our lives. Alright, Haruhime. If you can pull this one out, girl, this would be a miracle among miracles. Boom! That was a good hit. Alright, so this is going to kill him, but we've got the other two that have way too much life left. So, even the AoE isn't going to do them in... Unless it can hit for like half a mil. If it can hit for half a mil, but I don't think. Usually it hits for like 200-ish, 150 to 200, depending upon, once again, RNG. So as you can see, I am extremely close. Like, I am one really good upgrade away from getting this done. It truly is unfortunate, but, you know, it is a thing. So I've got just a tiny bit left to do. Oh! 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 There we go! I'd given up hope, and I told y'all they could do it. Now, once again, I do want to preface, skin of teeth that win. But I got my awesome perfect stones. You know what? I got an A score because I didn't lose anybody. And I got some iris out of it. So I am absolutely elated with that result. And this was not a whale team by any stretch of the imagination. You know, my Line is only +3. My Chloe's only +2. And Tione is +4, you know? The biggest key factor here, though, is, and I'll be real, those two Haruhimes. Now, I probably could have done something more with her, maybe upgraded some weapons somewhere along the line and made this a little bit better, but this is not a whale team. Like, this is a legitimate team that a lot of people in this game could probably build. Yes, you would have to max out Haruhime, and that is a huge part of it. The new Haruhime is a huge factor, as you saw. But, and so is RNG. But it's doable. It's extremely doable. So, take those kind of hints and tips. Make sure you're debuffing the enemy. Make sure you're doing as many essays as possible. Casino Seer here has been one of the greatest assets in the game for me because of what she does with that 100% essay gauge increase on whoever she's tied to. So that's huge, and she's got good stats. This Hestia, I believe her banner just went away, but that 60 MP regen per turn, forget about it. She's stellar. She's perfect for Haruhime, and I apologize once again. My HDMI has bit the dust. Come on back, little HDMI. Come on back. Once again, I'd edit that out, but effort and time, and I just want to get this video up. So, yeah. So we've got her just doing damage, and she actually pairs with Haruhime to do the combo. This unit is debuffing light. The Line is buffing our SA gauge. Haruhime is doing the vast majority of the damage and buffing every unit to give that 80% light. Chloe is debuffing light 50% when she gets her SA off. And the other Haruhime, well, she carries the team, if I'm real. But there you guys go. And when it comes to that, then you can kind of see with the other team I was building why I say struggling a little bit, but I've almost got it. I'm like really close. So guys, go build some stellar teams. That is 7th Zone. Good luck to all of you. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow my Birdman. Hit me up on Booker. I'll be back at you guys with more Danmachi. We should have some information in the morning for y'all. Some fun stuff too, so stay tuned for that.